Just give me 1 second, guys, while I just share this around. Okay guys, good evening and welcome to the Eldar and BTCC. That is right, it is the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box. How are we doing? It is going to be pretty amazing because we are at Sardgena for the third round of the championship. And yes, it's a bit twisty, it's a bit tight, it's a bit narrow. But what more do you want on a Friday? It is going to be class. I can't wait to see exactly what's going to happen. I'm just going to make sure I'm heard on stream. Just for a moment, I do apologise for the lateness of the stream, as per usual. Yes, I am. But yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what's going to go on. I'm just going to go through exactly who's here tonight, who's going to be on the grid. And yeah, it seems it's going to be a scorcher. It's actually a scorcher. So far, the wind speed is around 5.2 wind speed. But it's looking like it's going to go down from the front straight. But looking at basically Rob Shoulder in the BMW, yes, people might say that's a Subaru Impreza, but because it's BTCC, it is going to be in period. It's actually based on the 2022 Quick Fit British Touring Car liveries, so we are going to be in for a cracking night of racing. Just looking at exactly what's going to, as I say, what's going to happen. But, you know, it's probably sponsored by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport, and our thoughts go out with Chell. She is currently suffering a diagnosis with breast cancer, and, you know, it is not the nicest thing to go through. So our thoughts are with her. So hopefully if she's watching, she'll give us a comment. But if you are watching the stream, guys, please do like and subscribe to the Eldar Sim channel. But yes, if you're wondering who's commentating, of course it is the one and only, the legend that is Hoppers, the BTC expert, or the BTC encyclopedia, because I know a lot about BTCC. And yeah, what more do you want on Friday? It is the weekend. But let's see what's going to go on then. So Rob Shoulder in the road kit, MB Motorsport / WSR commentary, well, not commentary, the BMW should I say. No idea what's been going on here, because we do have someone else entered the lobby, but I'm just going to see exactly what's going on. Just give me 1 second while I just sort something out. Do apologise about that, ladies and gents. Just trying to sort something out in the meantime at the same time as doing a couple of minutes qualifying. But you got Andy White in the Rich Energy BTC, yeah, BTC liveries. It's based on the Honda FK Civic Type R, but it's driven by, of course, Andy White. But in period, it's driven by Jade Edwards, Jason Plato, and of course Josh Cook. But it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen for that. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen through that, but we'll see what goes on for him. And you got Darren Baldwin, as I said, he was in the Laser Tools Infinity Q50 last week. Didn't look like it, but he was also there. But he's obviously in a Mitsubishi Lancer, but it's based on the Infinity Q50. Let's see who else is here. We've got a Sharp in the Rock and Race, the Rip Parfit Team Hard Infinity Q50. It is not, it is a Mazda Atenza. But he's thereabouts. But we'll see what's going to do. I do apologise about the glitching that you see on stream. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen for a Sharp. Claims he's going to be at the sharp end, pardon the pun, because he is looking forward to tonight from what I've heard for that. But it's going to be amazing to see exactly how well he's going to do. But we'll see what can happen for the Team Hard driver for this evening. Then you've got Brucey Collins, the inner Tom Ingram, as he states himself in the Hyundai i30M Fastback. But it is a Hyundai car, so we don't have to worry about trying to differentiate between the Genesis as well as the i30. But it's looking very close tonight for him. We'll see what he can do. He had a bit of a sort of 50-50 torrid time at Red Bull Ring last week, but should be able to pick up the pieces and do very well. I think he's done well here in the past. I can't remember exactly his previous race results around here, but around the Sardgena circuit. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm still heard on stream. I do panic a bit, but it's looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to happen. And you've got Dean Atkinson, reigning VW Scirocco Cup. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. And the other Rokit MB Motorsport BMW 330, the E model, because obviously it's all now hybrid for this season. But he's in the he was in the BMW, but he's now gone to the base of Subaru Impreza, but is still replicated for the BMW 3 Series. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Then you've got Neil Smale in the Subaru WRX, but using the other Rip Parfit Hyundai i30. No, not the i30, the Infinity Q50. I do apologise. Way ahead of myself because we were talking about Brucey Collins in the Hyundai. And then at the moment we've got Gareth Morris in the Paramax Vauxhall Astra, sort of Lexus RCF if you will. But we'll see what Gareth Morris can do. He was actually reigning BTCC champion in, I think, Friday night as well as a Wednesday. But we'll see exactly what he's going to do. At the moment it looks like we've got 9 cars on the grid. Not too sure exactly what's going to happen, but then I think we've missed out, of course. Where's he gone? He's gone into pit lane. He's Panos Forganis, the Greek, in the Halfords with Cataclean liveries, currently in period driven by, of course, Gordon Shedden and, of course, Dan Rowbottom. I'm going to be biased because that is one of my favourite liveries. People are going to say to me, well, yeah, okay, that's a bit biased, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Just obviously bear in mind the glitches had nothing to do with us. It's just how it is. Unfortunately, GT7 lobbies at the moment aren't the best. They're slowly improving them, but there's not much luck at the moment with these sort of glitching about. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to personally what's going to happen for the next instalment of the Chell Lawman BTCC. But it looks like that qualifying now will begin then, because they've got around 10 minutes of qualifying before 8 PM to try and get their fast laps in. We'll see if any more are going to enter the lobby, but I know for a fact Adam Morgan may be on his way, the Car Gods with Sicily driver, not the real life, as the settings has been prepared, so we'll just wait for that. It's going to be quick as a flash, but just looking exactly what's going to happen. So I think we're just going to wait for everyone to jump in the lobby and get underway for qualifying. Unfortunately, qualifying has not, the qualifying setting hasn't been set up. It's not officially a lot of things. There's a lot of interest. I'll just quickly sort out the info that I need. I don't really need to know what speed people are going. But it's going to be very close as Brian Moncani, the second of the Halfords with Clean Hondas, have entered. But he's actually in a BMW. Yes, I know it's confusing, but we'll see exactly how well it's going to go. But so that will now make it 10 people on the grid. But we are missing basically excuse me, this qualifying now is underway for that, for the 5th round of the championship. It's actually technically round number 3, but it's, if you class it as rounds, it's round number 5, and we do have only 2 races tonight, so we'll see exactly how well that's going to go. But we have obviously I can't remember how many laps, just bear with me 1 second. I think the laps were 13 laps around here, so I don't know why I want to enter the lobby, but you know, but we'll get it back set up. So just checking exactly how many laps we're going to be, but qualifying is going to be very tense then around here, because like I say, it's very tight and can be very twisty in some of the parts, but it's obviously looking like the likes of Brucey Collins then. What's he going to do in the Tom Ingram and Tom Chilton Bristol Street Motors Accelerate car? He's on a mission, because he was looking forward to seeing what he could do at Red Bull Ring, only to be sort of mid-pack, but he's done very well. He's won a few races in this Hyundai Genesis previously, so he knows what he's doing with the setup. I think just looking exactly how many cars are out there's still 9 cars out. I think the likes of course Nick Sargent, the second of the Rich Energy BTC Racing Honda Civics, or the Subaru, if people want to go off the proper manufacturers for tonight. Nick is unfortunately working, so his wife Kim is taking over running the lobby this evening. So far so good. Brian Moncani, I think he's just gone out of pit lane. No, he's not. He's sat in pit lane in the Halfords with Clean Honda. It is not a Honda though, it is a BMW, just to give people a rough idea. But let's see what Neil Smell can do then, the Scottish driver, or the floating Scotsman. He's thereabouts. Is he going to be on the money? He's about to set the pace though. He's gone to 1:28.1, quickest time so far in the Infinity. It's a bit perfect, but then Dean Atkinson pips him by quite a bit, around 2.056 of a second, with 1:26.044 per second in the road kit BMW. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. Dean Atkinson raced the Subaru WRX Championship last season, so he's had familiar grounds with this car, but started off in the BMW M4, but obviously didn't gel with it. It goes a bit wide into what looks like turn number 3 there, I believe, but we'll see what he's going to do. Gareth Morris though up into second with a 1:26.5 at the moment, so the Power Max Astra driver, the Welshman, let's see what he can do. He's thereabouts. Is he going to be able to push on? He's looking a bit feisty, but then you've got Andy White though, smashes the times with a 1:25.507. So he's thereabouts. He's looking racy in that Honda, must admit. Seems very quick. He picks up a dirt though, but is that going to be a bit held up, because he's got Ash Sharp just ahead of him on track. I don't know whether Ash has set a lap time yet. Darren Baldwin with a 1:26.662 the Laser Tools Infinity. He's thereabouts. Who was that going wide? Just looking out of shot there. I don't know whether the car's gone into pit lane. I think it's actually Brucey Collins in the Hyundai, so we'll see what I can do. But Darren stays 4th at the moment. Then you got Ash Sharp, like you said, he's doing very well. Wants to do very well around here. He's done a 1:26.810. So the Infinity driver, the team hard car, trying to push on. It's going to be very close. Like I say, there's only 10 drivers at the moment. He's picked up a 5-10 penalties though. However, even though he goes into pit lane, is that going to count though? But looking at the times, then penalties are getting a bit picked up as Darren goes a bit sideways out at the bottom end. He's going down the hill, which may be his advantage. He's still racing one-handed, which may be a bit of a tricky situation. If you remember, at round 1 at Interlagos, he was in the number racing Focus ST, the latest Ash Sutton and of course Dan Camish liveries for this season. He's now changed cars into the Infinity Q50, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Panos for Afghanistan suffering with COVID at the moment as well. He's done a 127.963 with that 5-10 penalty. He's going to have to push on now, and I mean push on. He's going to have to get there. It's not going to be easy, but Neil Smell's still down in 7th place at the moment, trying to push as best as he can. It's not too sure exactly how well he's going to do. We've got a few people missing this evening, unfortunately, which may be okay. Neil actually got a top 10 at Red Bull in race number 1, so we'll see how well he can do for race number 1 this time round, and hopefully get a trio, well not a trio, but a double top 10 finish in both races. Then you got obviously, like I said, Rob Scholler in the Road Kit BMW, just pushing there. He's gone purple in that sector. Let's see what he's going to do. We'll try and go on board with him if we can. Yes, we will. Clipping and skipping them curbs. Oh, he's gone wide there. Doesn't need to go wide. That's going to hamper his lap time. It's going to be very close to the action, but he's almost lost a bit of control, and he's going to probably lose a bit of time. Or is he? He goes to 126.680, so we'll go out of the car then to see exactly what's going on. But he's currently still 5th fastest, or he flied up to 5th fastest, should I say, because he's not off as sharp for that 5th place there with the likes of Brian McCartney yet to set a lap time. Wind speed's dropped a bit now going down the front straight here at Sardgena, but we'll see what's going on. It looks like Brucey Collins is on another outlap. I think he's changed his tyres a bit just to push on a bit, and obviously Panos still in pit lane. So the two Halfords with clean cars, the Gordon Shed and of course Dan Rowbottom Hondas, are still in pit lane at the moment. Maybe just taking the edge off qualifying, because qualifying is around 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, depending on how quick. They've got 2 minutes to go for the lap times, but we'll allow the guys to finish. But Andy White then, so far in the BTC Racing Honda, goes a bit wide out the final 2 turns though. Doesn't want to push too hard, because he will kick up a bit of dirt. He goes around 126.492 this time round, but Dean Atkinson, so it's a Honda versus BMW at the moment, but Rob Scholler in the other Road Kit BMW up into 3rd then, so it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. But you can see it's obviously inspired by Jake Hill, the official BTCC racer. But we'll see what he can do. Is he on a mission tonight? Is he going to make it another race win? He got one at Red Bull last time out, but his purple is 0.001 of a second, so it's only one little minuscule of a second for trying to get pole position for the opening race of round number 5 of the championship. It's going to be very close, as you can see them literally nose to tail. But Gareth Morris then up in 2nd in the Power Max Astra, based on the Lexus RCF. He's going to be thereabouts, but is he going to be able to push on? The car livery's different this year because of Car Store, obviously sponsoring Power Max, driven by of course Ash Hand and of course Michael Crease in real life. But obviously Gareth Morris, the Welshman, trying to push on. Andy White has gone. Has he gone fastest? No, he hasn't. He's still Got to win 125.507. That was the first lap time as our sharp caused a bit wide there. Luckily, he had a bit of a moment which didn't hold up Andy White too much, but racing the 888 numbers, he's going to be thereabouts. Is he going to be able to take pole position? So we're not far away from qualifying start. So qualifying now has officially ended. So it is Andy White leading the way for BTC Racing Honda, the Rich Energy and Adrian Flux liveried. So it is going to be race 1 then for Honda on pole position, followed by the Vauxhall, and then of course BMW, the 2 BMWs. So it's going to be very interesting. So we are then around 10 races tonight, which is a bit of a low turnout for tonight, which is a bit unfortunate, but let's see what race number 1 brings then. So the 5 red lights are on the starting gantry. It's lucky we can see them this time as the lights are about to turn to green. Who's going to get a jump? It looks like Rob Shoulder's got the jump from, of course, Gareth Morris and, of course, Dean Atkinson. So the 3, well, sort of the Honda versus the BMW battle, the 2 BMWs. Luckily we can tell one apart because one's got his yellow front his headlights, but Dean Atkinson up in second. Then there's a lot of battles galore going on further back. The 2 Team Hard Machines versus, of course, Neil Smell and, of course, Darren Baldwin's Infinity. So the Infinities are thereabouts, but it's going to be very close because Gareth Morris get a bit hung out to dry there in the car store with Powermax Vauxhall Astra in 6th place then. Of course, that's Sharp down to 7th with the likes of Brucey Collins in the Hyundai i30N Fastback, the accelerator machine. He's currently 8th at the moment. The Hondas with the Halfords with Cataclean, the Panos and, of course, Brian Moncani 9th and 10th at the moment. But what's happening for a fact is that Sharp gets pushed out to dry there. That's not what he wants. I think Brucey Collins is also the victim there, so I think he's slowing down to let our Sharp go. I think that's the nature, unfortunately, the lobbies with them glitching, it glues them like magnets at the moment. But Andy White then, slowly but surely, pushing on to complete lap number 1 out of 13. So it's another 2 13 lap races tonight here at Sardgena, with the likes of Dean Atkinson currently pushing on for MB Motorsport, the BMW crew. Literally 2nd and 3rd at the moment. They've got 2 cars running. I know there's no 2 cars, but Neil Smale, oh my god, he's got 4th place. Absolute stellar move for 4th place in the Infinity Q50, getting past that car store Vauxhall Astra of Gareth Morris. So Neil Smale on a mission. It looks like the cars are literally the likes of the Q50 and the BMW and the Hondas are literally pushing nose to tail, but Gareth Morris is not giving up. Trying to get back past Neil Smale, but Neil Smale into the top 4. Don't want to put commentator's curse on him just yet, but he's doing a stellar job in 4th place at the moment. The likes of Panos though back now up into 6th place. I didn't see exactly how he got into 6th place though, because it's thereabouts, but there's a move going for 4th place. Is there? No, there isn't, but Neil runs a bit wide. Yes, there is, because unfortunately poor old Neil running in top 4. He was doing so well to get into the top 4. Would have been his best result of the season so far, but he's currently 6th and now under pressure from the other Infinity, the Laser Tools machine, in 7th place of Darren Baldwin. Remember, Darren's driving one-handed after a broken wrist, so he's literally thereabouts. He's going to have to try and push on Brian Moncani now 8th in the 2nd of Halfords with Cataclean. Maybe a BMW, but it's a Honda FK8 Civic Type R, pushing on for potentially his best result of the season. He's got Brucey Collins though. Brucey Collins gets that Accelerate Hyundai past him. He's got to be careful because he's got a Sharp chasing him down, so could be very careful to see exactly how they're going to pan out. But Andy White then still on course for what could be a race win. He's 1st place at the moment, getting thereabouts. He's pushing on, but Dean Atkinson is, of course, 2nd place at the moment. The other MV Motorsport BMW, of course, Rob Shoulder, pushing on to try and get into the top 2. Is he going to make it 2 wins this season? We've already had a double race winner, I believe, so far this season. But Gareth Morris then into, of course, 4th now with Panos Forganis, the Greek. Probably suffering a bit at the moment. Like you said, he's obviously suffering with COVID, but he's pushing on. He's trying to soldier on. But Darren Baldwin, 6th place then. To see what Darren can do. He's thereabouts. But the Infinity trying to push on. It's going to be very difficult. Trying to strike one-handed, I bet. But he's there. He's trying to go as best as he can. It's going to be very great to see. But Brucey Collins up into 7th then. Got past Neil Smells Infinity. It's going to be thereabouts, but we'll just see exactly how close it's going to get, because the likes of the two Infinity, the Team Hard cars, the Rock and Race ones of Rick Parfitt Jr. in real life, trading places with 8th and 9th. It's going to be quite close to see exactly what's going to happen between them. Are they going to have a bit of a nose-to-tail battle? Poor old Neil was in top 4 and he's now towards the back end of the field, but you can see how close they're getting as Neil tries to get alongside us sharp for that 8th place at the moment. It seems that you can just quickly see what's going to happen between the pair of them. It's getting a bit close. I think Neil's trying to put the other Infinity under pressure. Luckily they're in different sort of base manufacturers, but you can see how quick Neil's going to get. But Brian McCartney then in the Halfords with Cataclean Honda, or as it's going to be known as a BMW for some bizarre reason, but done a stellar job. He made that livery himself, so he's doing fabulous. He's in 10th place at the moment, but not the easiest thing to do at the moment. But on to lap number 4, that's going to lap number 5 as Neil Smell goes a bit wide, kicks up that dirt. What's going on for potentially 5th and 6th? Panos has got a 5/10 penalty, bit of track limits I think, but looks like Rob Shoulders catching up to Dean Atkinson. But then in the meantime, while that's happening, Dean Atkinson is catching up to Andy White, so the Honda versus the BMWs are getting a bit pressured. Almost halfway through the race now, it seems that the likes of Andy White and of course Dean Atkinson probably raced against each other previously in other Elder Sim races, but see how quickly that's going to fold. But Rob Shoulder right onto the boot lead of Dean Atkinson now as we go into the tight and twisty corners, but got to quickly go back to the battle. But the top 3 are going to have this battle. It's almost like a cork in the bottle for Andy White, because he can't afford to let the cork go out the bottle, because if he does, it's going to get the other 2 latching onto the back quite quickly. But looking exactly what's going to happen between the likes of these three. Oh, Andy White gets a bit crossed up, so that's allowed Dean Atkinson to literally take the race lead. He will be happy with that. He's kicking up a lot of dirt. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but we'll get very close with the likes of Dean Atkinson pushing on for, of course, his first victory of the season. But Rob Shoulders also trying to join there. Lap 6 out of 13, so roughly at the halfway mark of the race now. It seems that the crowd are going wild here at Sardgena, enjoying the sun, but you can tell with the wind speeders, Andy White and of course Rob Shoulder getting side by side. But the Honda's dropped a bit of a place down to 3rd then. He's got to be very careful now that he doesn't drop too much, but looks like the likes of Adam Morgan isn't making it tonight, so big shame for the Car Gods with Sicily driver. But Gareth Morris at the moment then, and of course 4th place at the moment in that Power Max Vauxhall Astra. It seems that he could be a dark horse going in towards the latter half of this race if he keeps it together. But Darren's up into 5th then in the Infinity. Could be very close to see what's going to happen, but you got the likes of Panos in the Halfords with Cataclean Honda, literally nose to tail. It could be very close indeed when you've got a bit of battles galore going on thereabouts. But Panos runs a bit wide out of turn number I've lost count how many turns they are at this track, but the final turn. Brucey Collins in 7th then, as Sharp has put an end to the battle between him and of course Neil Smale. So he's currently 8th place in the Infinity, the Team Hard Infinity. Of course Neil Smale, his teammate this time round. But could be very easy to see exactly how close it's going to get. But looking at Brian Moncani then in the Halfords Clean Honda, pushing on in 10th place onto lap 7 out of 13 then. But Rob Scholler, is he going to try and get another win? He is pushing on for literally dear life, trying to get up past of course Dean Atkinson. Oh, he's got that with precision just about. Is he going to be able? Oh, this is getting close between the two of them. Can't really afford to touch and make contact as Andy White goes nearly spinning off the track there. But it could be very careful to see exactly what's going to happen there. But that's allowed Gareth Morris to literally catch up, try and catch up with these battles, because we're on to lap 7 out of 13. Don't feel like this race has already started, but I'll tell you what, it's going to get very close to see what's going to happen. So it's almost Honda versus now the Vauxhall. So it's almost like Jason Plato versus of course Michael Crease or Ross Hand in real life if you followed BTCC. Puts Gareth Morris then onto the 3rd spot on the podium as Dean Atkinson has lost first place to of course Rob Scholler then. So the MB Motorsport BMWs 1st and 2nd, so it's a 1-2 for WSR at the moment, are literally pushing on with the likes of Andy White now trying to get past the likes of Gareth Morris. This could be very close to see exactly how close it's going to get between the pair of them. But the Honda versus the Vauxhall, going to get very careful, but you can see between these two. But looking exactly what's going to happen, Darren's still there in 5th place in the Infinity Q50, the Laser Tools one, driven by, impaired by Aidan Moffat and of course Dexter Pattinson, the two Scottish drivers. But Darren's trying to push on as best as he can. But you can see Pans Forganis the Greek still holding on for of course 6th place at the moment, with Alexa Brucey Collins in the top 7. Then of course Ash Sharp and of course Neil Smale, and the other Team Hard, the Rick Parfitt Jr. liveried Infinity Q50s in 8th and 9th at the moment, with the likes of Brian Moncani and of course the Halfords Clean car. He's currently in 10th place, not enjoying his race at the moment. He's got the hazard lights on. I don't know whether he's going to be touring in for retirement, but he's going to. I think Darren's left the lobby, which is has been a bit of an issue with Gareth Morris though. Not too sure exactly what's gone on there, unless there was a bit of contact between himself and of course Darren. But then of course Andy White has got a big penalty. He's got a 3.5 second penalty. That is going to hurt him massively. So that's going to allow the likes of Rob Scholler and Dean Atkinson 1st and 2nd at the moment, panos up onto the podium so far. I'm not too sure whether Darren's going to be coming back for race number 2. Well, it's lap 13 though, could be now going on to lap number 10 very shortly. Not too sure exactly what's been going on, but I think there's been a bit of an issue there. But it sounds like Darren's got an issue. Whether the Infinity's had a bit of a electrical issue, but Gareth Morris then down into 4th then, with the likes of Brucey Collins now up into 5th. So the Hyundai driver, the Accelerate Motorsport, into 5th place then. But Panos has also dropped a bit of places. Seems there's quite a few cars now, but it's going to probably leave, of course, 9 drivers for race number 2. But it looks like the likes of Brian Moncani then will be still there with the hazards on the Honda, trying to push on. But we're on to lap 10 out of 13, so around 3 laps to go then in the opening race of the evening. But could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Rob Scholler and of course Dean Atkinson. Both BMWs thereabouts to try to push on as best as they can. Gareth Morris then back up into the podium. But Brucey Collins, look at him, he's on a mission. He's wanting to get his inner Tom Ingram, like he said to me last week. He's probably wanting the same again this time round here at Sardgena for rounds 5 and 6 of the championship. But he's pushing on quite a bit. He's going to try and get maybe onto the podium. He's getting very closer and closer. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Because the Vauxhall driver versus the Hyundai driver, it's going to be very close though. But Panos is trying to catch up to the closing pack. He's going to try and get there. What's happening further back? In the likes of Ash Sharp and of course Neil Smale try to push on for dear life. It could be 8th and 7th respectively, but we'll see exactly how close that's going to get. But pushing on for quite some time as Brian Moncani still with them hazard lights on the Honda, still pushing on, but he's 9th place and he's that far behind as Rob Scholler. Oh, look at that tyre smoke as he goes out the that corner there. He's got a bit of a gap from Dean Atkinson. Is Rob Scholler got a bit of an issue, or is it just a bit of understeer with that BMW? But could be taking another victory. We'll see exactly how it's going to pan out for basically race number 1. But we're on to the penultimate lap very soon. As Brucey Collins has got past Gareth Morris then. He's got past him. And so Tom Ingram versus Michael Crease, if it was a proper race, he's on to the podium. But who knows exactly what's going to happen with Gareth Morris catching up onto the penultimate lap. It's going to be very careful though between the pair of them. Who knows exactly how it's going to pan out, but could be that Brucey Collins gets onto the podium for what could be, I think it's the first time this season, I'm not too sure, but he's thereabouts as Gareth Morris is actually building up a lot more speed in that Vauxhall, trying to get past Brucey Collins. But onto the penultimate lap we go then, as Panos still stays 5th at the moment. Andy White, after that big massive penalty, the 3.5 second penalty, in 6th place then. Started very well, but like I said, I think that penalty's hurt him. Ash Sharp and of course Neil Smale still running 7th and 8th respectively in both the Rock and Race Team Hard, the Infinity Q50s, and they did it exactly the same then. But then you've also got Brian Moncani in the Halfords Recata Clean Honda, even though people will say that's a BMW, but it's not. It's a Honda in period, because it's driven by, of course, Dan Bottom and of course Gordon Shedden. But looks like Rob Scholler then going on to the final lap. He's going to be 5.2 of a gap between him and of course Dean Atkinson, so they're going to be pushing on. It seems that these cars have been thereabouts equally matched. What's going on further back, because it's almost the train of cars between the likes of Brucey Collins and of course Gareth Morris. Oh, Panos goes off there. Oh, saw the Honda just outbrake himself. Bit of brake fade, I think. But he's thereabouts. But we'll see exactly how close that's gonna get. But onto the final lap then. He's 5th at the moment, with of course Ash Sharp still holding on for 6th place at the moment. But looks like Andy White dropped down to 8th place then, with the likes of Ash Sharp and of course Neil Smale 6th and 7th. But Brian Moncani then, of course, 9th place at the moment. He's 12.9 seconds, but he's on the final lap, so he's not lost any ground. But Rob Scholler then, just looking exactly what he's doing. He's going through the latter half of the lap now. He's got around 6.4 of a gap from Dean Atkinson, so it seems that the MB Motorsport WSR cars are going to be 1st and 2nd, which could be very delightful for Rob Scholler. He will be another 2-time winner of the championship, He's obviously with the likes of Thomas Chevalier, who unfortunately isn't racing tonight. So Rob Shoulder then makes it a second win of the season. He will be taking on that victory. Flashes lights and delights, but Dean Atkinson. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Dean Atkinson second, Brucey Collins in third place, then Gareth Morris fourth. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Panos in fifth, then battling in, of course, fifth at the moment, but Sharp then flashes the light in, of course, sixth place with the likes of Neil Smale in seventh. Andy White though, he's had a 1/10 penalty there. In eighth place, will Brian Mulcahy catch him up though before he crosses the line? No, he doesn't. Brian Mulcahy gets a bit out of shape there. So Andy White in, of course, eighth place, and then of course Brian Mulcahy in ninth. And of course Darren unfortunately did not finish in the Laser Tools Infinity. But we have got a couple of minutes until race number 2 then. It does happen, but it's going to be very close to see exactly how close that's going to get. But I'll quickly try and take a screenshot of these results quickly just to get that out there. But let's see how close it's going to get for race number 2, but we'll see how close it's going to get for them. But looking at exactly what's going to happen for race number 2, just to put that out there. I'm not too sure whether we've got the end of race time on or not. I think we're just making sure, but looks like everyone is out and finished. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen very shortly. So there we go. Race number 1 has finished. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2 in a moment or two when we get qualifying underway. I'm just going to quickly just we'll see exactly what's going to happen in a moment or two. So give me a second. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. So guys, welcome back. I do apologise about that. We are just underway for the second qualifying session of the evening, because we do have two, if you're not familiar. Just looking exactly what's going on. I'm not too sure exactly what's been going on, but I think certain people are having a bit of issues. I'm not whether it's with each other or whether it's just the nature of this circuit, but we're halfway, sort of in between. Maybe 5 minutes left of qualifying, so halfway through qualifying 2 at the moment. Looks like a few guys are just on their out laps at the moment, just to acclimatise, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say, for the second qualifying session of the evening. But for race number 2 then, it looks like we are going to be missing, unfortunately, Darren Baldwin for race number 2. He's actually had a family emergency, so hopefully all is okay, mate. And we'll see you back at round 7 and 8 of the championship this time next week. But it's going to be very close then. We're looking at, of course, Neil Smell tried to get up in the top 4 in race number 1, but ran a bit wide, and I think he'll be kicking himself with that. But we'll see what the Infinity Q50 can do this time round. But you know, nevertheless, he was thereabouts. I think he's trying to push on. I think he's trying to get to grips, but we'll see how well he goes. We've got, of course, the likes of Panos, Brucey Collins, and of course Brian Moncani in pit lane, the Belgian. So the two Halfords cars are in pit lane. Rob Shoulder with a 125.493 at the moment. He's currently down on his time, that sector, but is he going to make it out? 2 wins from 2 tonight. He is looking very racy. He looked very racy in race 1. He got a demon start off the line, so it could be very close to see exactly what he's going to do. The likes of Sharpie's up into 3rd then, so the first of the Infinity Q50s, the Team Hard Rip Parfit Junior liveried car is thereabouts. He's going to push on, but we'll see what he can do. Gareth Morris is up into 2nd, so Gareth is going to see how quick he can push that Vauxhall across onto the grid, but he's going to try and push it further up. He's currently 2nd as we stand, but it's going to be very close then between the likes of Panos. I think he's on an out lap. Is he? Yes, he is. There's quite a few guys now into pit lane, probably trying to make sure things go well, but Panos is on a out lap. He's probably going to be on a flyer this time round though, but lots of Dean Atkinson goes back out onto circuit. Not too sure how well he's going to go this time round, but State did very well to try and push on. He was leading the race for quite a bit. I thought he was actually going to take the race win, but I think he's had a bit of a few moments there. But Andy White then on an out lap. Is he going to make it a double pole position, or is he going to I'm not going to say run out of time. He's got a few, maybe 5 minutes. Well, not 5 minutes, but maybe a couple of minutes because he's got to push on. As he's got round about maybe 4 minutes, if that, to try and get a lap time in, because he's going to have to be quite interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Not too sure what Neil Smell's trying to explain to everyone. I think he's a bit annoyed with a bit of contact, but unfortunately he does know the rules of the championship. But we'll see exactly how well that's going to go. But at the moment, as I say, the lobby isn't the best, and contact is unfortunately going to happen. But let's hope we do have a bit of a clean race for race number 2. But I didn't see anything untoward in race number 1, so we'll see exactly how quick it's going to be. It's going to be another 13 lap race. It is going to be probably over before we know. But like to Rob Shoulder, Gareth Morris, Panos, and of course Andy White at the moment. Andy White's on now a fast lap. He's currently 4th in the Honda, trying to push on as best as he can though. But he's going to have to try and get thereabouts. Is he going to make it another pole position? He's coming through the sort of mid-section of the the mid bit of the first sector. He's going to be caught in traffic though, which may hamper him. So the 888 numbered Honda is going to be caught by he's going to catch Brucey Collins, but Brucey Collins gets off the racing line and gives him enough room there to try and get a very easy fast lap. Brucey Collins down in 7th at the moment. Is he gonna? He's not even done a lap time yet, so he could be 7th for, of course, race number 2. So we've got around 3 minutes to go then before race number 2 actually does start, and it's going to be very close to see exactly how it's going to be. But looking at certain times then, Rob Shoulder still top of the tree for qualifying with a 125.4, goes a 125.566 this time round, but he's still in provisional pole position unless anyone can beat him. Dean Atkinson, he's getting closer. He's only around 1.2 of a second with a 126.788. So he's going to be pushing on. So it's a BMW WSR road kit cars 1-2 at the moment. Excuse me. So the 1-2 at the moment on the grid, but could be very close to Gareth Morris into 3rd then. So there's quite a few fast cars around each other and quite a fast group as well, but could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the likes of Andy White. He's still there in 4th though, Panos in 5th, Brucey Collins 6th, Brian Mulcahy 7th, and of course the likes of Neil Smell and of course Ash Sharp, they're still in pit lane. So even though they've gone out set a time, it looks like they could be starting 7th, 8th and 9th respectively. So we've got around roughly a minute, maybe 2 minutes, just for anyone to try and get the last bit of flying laps in there. But it's looking very close. But the likes, of course, Gareth Morris up into 2nd then. So it looks like Dean Atkinson's dropped down to 3rd, which is a bit unfortunate for him. But is he going to push his way back up? It seems likely not. But he's going to be thereabouts. But we'll see exactly how close it's going to get, because, as I say, you've got the fast starting guys in front. Bruce Collins 5th then. So he's going to challenge his inner Tom Ingram, as he says, just to try and push on. But he will be on course to try and push on as best as he can. But we should be ready for race number 2 then. 2nd of the races, the final race of the evening as well. There's only 2 races due to the fact is we have to have a qualifying session in between race 1 and of course race 2. So see exactly what's that gonna, what will it bring. Brian Mulcahy is actually technically gone out, whether he's 6th place at the moment, as we get on to the starting grid for race number 2 then. So the 5 red lights will be appearing in a moment or two. The likes of Rob Scholler, Gareth Morris and of course Panos Forganis. So it looks like Dean Atkinson lost his 3rd place there, so we're about to get the 5 red lights to flick to green any moment now. Who is going to get a jump? It looks like Dean Atkinson is the other one to get a jump. It looks like, as I say, only 9 cars this time round, but it looks like the likes of the 2 BMWs versus the Honda as well, because Andy White is up there, but then Neil Smale breathing in, but Ash Sharp is the one that gets away, and I think he's not going to like that. So the Infinity drops down to 9th place at the moment. He's got a lot of dirt on his tyres, so the likes of Rob Scholler and of course Dean Atkinson, Andy White and of course Brucey Collins and of course Gareth Morris, Panos, and of course, is that Brian Montgomery? Yes, it is, in 7th place. So the Belgian is now not at the toes to field, but it looks like Ash Sharp's had a bit of an issue there, but maybe the likes of Brian Montgomery trying to push on, but Neil Smale has unfortunately dropped down to 8th place. He was doing well, but I think he's had a bit of an issue. I think the 2 Infinities had a bit of contact between the pair of them, but looks like Rob Scholler trying to make it 2 from 2 at the moment. Don't want commentator's curse just yet, because we're on to lap, not even completed lap number 1. But it's a lot has kicked off between now and then, but you can just see Rob Scholler with a 1.6 or 1.7 now, with a second between his teammate Dean Atkinson at the moment. It looks like obviously the other road kit BMW driver Nate Fletcher is missing, so it's not going to be a BMW 1-2-3. But looking at Andy White then in the Honda pushing on, he's going to try and make amends for of course race number 1, but Gareth Morris against of course Brucey Collins, so it's Michael Treese versus Tom Ingram if it was in period, as well as Dan Rowbottom joining grid with Panos Forganis, but unfortunately it is not the BTCC stars as much as we wish it was, but the racing exactly this season's BTCC liveries with very good precision. But Panos has got a 5/10 penalty, which that is going to hurt him. Is that going to hurt him even more, or is Neil Smale going to have to push on with Brian Montgomery? Literally 8th at the moment. He's dropped down to 8th, so he's struggling at the moment. He's not having a good evening. Would have tipped him for a race win or a podium thereabouts this season, but so far he's not been on the podium. He's not pushed as much as he can. As Ash Sharp currently with a 1/10 of 1.5 second penalty, so that's 1.5 second penalty. As they go up to the penalty zone, they will have to take that. But looking at the BMW's 1-2 at the moment, Andy White's Honda trying to push on as best as they can. They're going to be there if it's going to be all or nothing between the pair of them. Who knows exactly what's going to happen. Gareth Morris still in 4th, then with Brucey Collins 5th. Neil Smale up into 6th, then with of course Panos and of course Brian Montgomery, the 2 Halfords with Cataclysm cars. Literally nose to tail now, chasing after of course Neil Smale. And of course Ash Sharp at the tail of the field. He's not had a good sort of evening so far. He's literally now 9th place, around 9.5 seconds of gap, which it's going to be a bit of a hard one to push back unless anything happens. On lap 3 out of 13 already. Doesn't seem like this race has already begun, but not even half distance either, as Dean Atkinson literally pushes on as best as he can. Is he going to be able to get away from Andy White's Honda? He may be able to do it, but the 3 of them are almost nose to tail. But Gareth Morrison, as Brucey Collins gets a bit out of shape, Neil Smale is there. He's getting hounded by the outfits with clean cars. You can just see exactly how close it's going to get between the likes of Neil and of course Brian Montgomery, as well as Panos. Panos literally suffering at the moment a bit of flame out the exhaust there of the Honda, trying to push on, but is he going to be able to do it, as they are literally swamping Neil not Neil, yes it is Neil, I do apologise, with Neil getting hounded by the 2 Hondas. So you have to be thereabouts. It's going to be very close on to lap number 4 out of 13. As Panos tries to go for that inside line, is he going to be able to do it? Brian Mulcahy's following suit. You look at that. The two Halfords Mechanical cars almost through on, of course, Neil Smell's Infinity. But it looks like that the two Halfords cars, yes, they've got in front. Are they going to be able to make it stick? Is there going to be team orders between the pair of them? It's hard to tell at this stage in the race, but as I say, on to lap number 4 out of 13 rather. It's going to be very close as the likes of Gareth Morris and of course Brucey Collins, they're going to try and catch up, but looking at Andy White then, trying to get past the BMW as best as he can. He's in the Honda, seems to be gearing up for a podium this time round. It could be all or nothing, but it's looking likely at the moment though. You can just hear exactly how close it's going to get, but as Dean Atkinson kicks up a bit of dirt, rub shoulder there, and of course first place probably going to make it 2 from 2 tonight if he's very careful and makes it with precision. But you can just see Brucey Collins trying to get that Hyundai Genesis or the Hyundai i30M fastback, the accelerator machine, up into 4th. He's trying to catch up to Gareth Morris, but looks like the Halfords cars are literally gapping the likes of Neil Smell at the moment. Neil Smell, and of course 8th place with of course Paul Sharp around 10.5 seconds away from of course 8th place of Neil Smell. At the moment he's not had a very good third race. You can see exactly where he went off in lap number 1, but Rob Scholler still leading this race then. Is he going to be pushing on? I think he will be potentially championship leader after this race, but it all depends. Dean Atkinson is of course in 2nd, Andy White 3rd, Gareth Morris still 4th, so it's going to be very close. Brucey Collins still getting to grips slightly, but he's pushing on. He's 5th place at the moment, but looks like there could be of course team tactics at Halfords Mechanical. We know what happened when the Honda boys had team tactics in 2011. Of course, in real life at Alton Park, they both took each other out. Don't want that this time around, though. Well, it looks like Brian Mulcahy's on the back of his teammate. He's trying to literally push on. We'll see how quick he's getting. It's almost like Matt Hill versus Gordon Chedden back in 2011, but it's not. It's literally Panos versus Brian, but obviously Gordon Chedden versus Dan Bottom. The two cars are literally nose to tail going over the start and finish line. Are they going to get team tactics, or are they just going to push on? It all depends, but we'll see Panos literally pushing for daylight between him and Brian Mulcahy. Neil Smale trying to literally push on as best as he can. Wants to try and end his evening on a high, but he's going to be thereabouts. He's probably going to be happy 2 top 10s, but depending on what's going on, Sharp thereabouts. He's 13.2 of a second onto lap 6 out of 13, so halfway through them, just about. Andy White's got past Dean Atkinson. Dean Atkinson's BMW run a bit wide there, so the Honda, of course, now in 2nd place. Is he going to catch the other BMW that's in 1st place at the moment? Brucey Collins still there, and of course 5th place at the moment. Panos is up into still 6th place because he's got past. Well, he's not. He's still in 6th because Brian Mulcahy has not managed to get past his teammate. He's thereabouts, but it's getting a bit very fraught and a bit close between the pair of them. Could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. But looking at the likes of Panos at the moment, he's got to be very careful. On to lap 7 out of 13, but Brian Mulcahy's still there in 7th, but Neil Smale in the Infinity pushing on. But Adam Morgan unfortunately has joined too late to join the racing, because we're on to race number 2. But we'll see exactly how close it's going to get. But unfortunately the car gods with Sicily, unfortunately he's missed tonight, but it's a bit unfortunate for him as Sharp's still there and of course 9th place at moment, 13.5 of a second down, trying to catch these guys up as best as he can, but unfortunately he's not having the best of night at the moment, as Rob Shoulder comes through the back end of the circuit, about to start lap number 8 out of 13. So the laps are slowly but surely for race number 2 and the final race of the evening winding down. It could be very close, but he gets a bit close for comfort, kicks up the dirt, does not need to do that. He's got around 4.9 of a second gap, so he may be okay. But Andy White for BTC Racing, the Rich Energy BTC Racing squad, trying to push on with of course Dean Atkinson now trying to push the BMW, the other BMW. It's a BMW sandwich, but you can just see how quick it's going to get between the likes of Andy White and of course Dean Atkinson. But Gareth Morris slowly but surely catching these guys up as best as he can, with the likes of course Brucey Collins in the Accelerate. Hollandite still there in 5th place at the moment, but Panos is leading the way for Halfords with Cataclean. Both Hondas trying to push on. Bit of a gap now from Neil Smale and the Infinity. You can just see Neil literally pushing on for dear life. He is thereabouts. He's 2.3 of a second from these guys in front of him, but I think he is going to be there. But there's a yellow flag in the sector there. Has someone gone off, or is it just playing the yellow flags? I'm not too sure, because they look like Andy White. Has he had an issue? He may have had an issue, because Dean Atkinson's caught him. Could possibly be that, but you can just see it running a bit wide though, because it's going to be a bit of a tooth and nail battle between Dean Atkinson and of course Andy White for 2nd and 3rd at the moment. It is thereabouts. Let's see what's going to kick off here. Is it going to be very interesting onto lap 9 out of 13, so around 4 laps to go then. It's going to be very close as Dean Atkinson tries to push that BMW against the Honda. Could be very close as you see, but let's have a look how quickly it's going to be panning out for 2nd and 3rd. There's a bit of contact between the pair of them, but you could just see the fans just adoring the sunshine at the moment. They're not really putting much attention to the battles, but looking at that, there's a bit of contact between Andy White and of course Dean Atkinson, battling for 2nd and 3rd. They're actually trying to literally say right after you, and vice versa, but looks like it's a BMW 1-2 yet again at the moment, trying to push on, but Andy White gets a bit crossed up. You've got to be very careful, because that's inviting Gareth Morris in the Power Max Vauxhall Astra trying to push up. But it's a battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th respectively. There's a bit of battle for 5th and 6th. I'll go back to that if I can, between of course Brucey Collins and Panos Forcanis, but there's been a change for literally, it looks like Panos has a 5/10 penalty, but Neil Smale up into 7th then with the likes of Brian Mulcahy, and of course now 8th with Ash Sharp still in 9th and circulating Rob Shoulder then, with around 3 laps to go in this final race of the evening. Still leading the race, but the likes of Andy White and of course Gareth Morris now. Dean Atkinson's dropped back. What's happened to Dean Atkinson? He needs to push on for that podium, but he's not going to outdo it as Gareth Morris and of course Andy White. Unless these two come into blows, they may be enough chance, but you know, it's looking likely it's going to be a BMW of course that leads the race. It will be probably a BMW that leads the championship after tonight. It all depends with the likes of Andy White and of course Gareth Morris, whether they push on if Rob Shoulder makes a mistake. But looking exactly how the Honda kicks up the dirt there, kicks it in Gareth Morris's face, almost with the Power Max Astra, trying to go thereabouts. It's getting very close as Brucey Collins has actually got past of course Panos, as well as Neil Smale up into 6th. Dean Atkinson with 1.5 second penalty. That is not what he wants. That is now going to be an utter disaster unless anything happens between them. Ash Sharp's still there in the post night for the moment, but Rob Shoulder with around 2 laps to go in this race. He is on a mission to make it 2 from 2. Andy White and Gareth Morris, they're still battling. Battles galore between the pair of them. It's almost neck and neck as they go across the line. Let's see exactly how close it's going to get. But the likes of these two, it could be very close. We'll see. It's going to be maybe thereabouts, but is it going to be close? Brucey Collins 4th. Panos is going to have to try and push harder in that Honda as best as he can, with the likes of Neil Smell now 6th, Brian Mulcahy 7th, Dean Atkinson. It's now a bit of a nightmare to try and climb back up to the podium spots unless anything happens. As Sharp there in around 0.5 seconds of penalty. He's going to be livid with himself. Rob Scholler though still going to go on to penultimate lap. The penultimate lap with the race lead. He is there. He's led the lap. He's even done the fastest lap, 1:25.871. That is absolutely insane. We'll see exactly how close it's going to go between the likes of Andy White and of course Gareth Morris. These two battling for second and third. The last 2 spots on the podium, it could be very close between these two. Gareth Morris, you know exactly how he likes to race. He's been thereabouts. He's obviously had a bit of time away in the off season to try and think exactly how well he's going to go, but you can see how close it's going to get onto the penultimate lap between the pair of them. So that is allowing likes Rob Scholler to get away from these two, but Brucey Collins still there in 4th, Panos in of course 5th, Neil in of course 6th at the moment. Brian Mulcahy is catching them up slowly but surely. Dean Atkinson, a bit of battle scarred on that BMW. He's going to have to push on. He's not going to get on the podium, I don't think, this time round. Sharp with that penalty. He's not had a good night in of course 9th place at the moment, but Rob Scholler, he is running away with this race lead at the moment. Is he going to make it 2 from 2? He may be able to, but let's have a look at what's happening between Andy White and of course Gareth Morris. These two still battling for that second and third. One of them's going to have to obviously get second and one of them's going to have to get third. But what we don't want is we don't want any contact, and we don't want them pushing and realising that it could damage their podium potentials. Well, who knows, anything can happen in BTCC. So let's see what's going to happen. Oh, Gareth Morris gets a bit loose. Gets a bit loosey-goosey out of that hairpin there. He's going to have to try and push on. You can see Brucey Collins trying to gain up the order as best as he can. He's trying to catch them. Is he going to be able to? Rob Scholl's going on to the final lap. We know for a fact he will be home and dry. Oh, Andy White runs a bit wide. That's allowed Gareth Morris to get alongside. So the Honda runs a bit wide. He's got a bit wide again. Is Gareth Morris going to be able to get that second place? Is he going to be able to get second place before he gets into the last lap? Oh, he's going to be very tooth and nail. It's getting very tense between the pair of them. Let's see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. We can't see what's happening further back because this battle has literally been one of the best battles so far this evening and so far this season. As Gareth Morris gets a bit... Oh! Andy White clips that dirt. You can see it just coming back onto the track. You can see how close it's been, but Gareth Morris now literally takes that second place away from Andy White's Honda. So the Power Max Fox Lastra literally on top of his game. He's got there. He knows he's got that second place if he managed to keep it stick. But look at Rob Scholler's gap. He's round about 8.3 of a second. He's almost coming through the latter half of the lap now to complete a double victory this evening. And even takes a lead lap and probably also takes the fastest lap. Gets the bonus points for them. I'll tell you what, he's driven exceptionally well this evening. He's going to be championship leader going into the next meeting, because obviously with Thomas Giuliano and Moreno missing this evening for Team Hard, he will be championship leader. So it's going to be very close out of the final turn. Then is he going to be 2 from 2? He's going to be home and safe and dry. He's done it. He's made 2 from 2. He will be happy with that. Gareth Morris then in of course second place, holding off Andy White, but it looks like Brucey Collins may have a bit of a late charge. No, he doesn't, unfortunately. He finishes 4th, but Andy White of course in 3rd place with the likes of Brucey Collins, and of course 4th for Accelerate, Panos for Afghanistan, and of course 5th for Halfords for Cataclean, and then you've got the likes of Neil Smell for Team Hard in the Infinity Q50. Then you've got of course Dean Atkinson, bit of damage limitation for him in the other MB Motorsport BMW. but come home in 7th from Moncani, 8th for Team Dynamics. They've had a bit of a shocker, but you know, who knows, Sharp of course in 9th place. But that is an absolute insane battle. You can see how close it was getting. I'll tell you what, who knows exactly what's going to happen for the next round of the championship. But looking at, of course, Rob Scholar's victory in, of course, race number 2, is that going to give him, of course, the championship lead? We'll see exactly what's going to happen at this time next week. I will see exactly what's going to happen. But until then, guys, it is getting absolutely close to the sharp end. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be fantastic. Until next week, guys, where it is round 7 and 8 of the championship, almost halfway of the season. It's going to be fantastic. I've been Hoppers for Eldar Sim Racing. Take care and have a fantastic weekend. I will see you very soon. Take care. Ta-ra.